Guys, it's Eugene here with another comic haul video. It's been a little while, so there's been some sales in the past few months and stuff that I've hit up. Just want to catch up. Sorry have been around. I had a lung infection. It's so my voice was screwed up. Don't worry too much though. I was just stubborn in not wanting to use antibiotics, but I finally did use antibiotics, so I got my voice and my health back. But there's since Christmas and all, there's like this stuff from auctions, comic convention, a small handful of presents, gifts, and flea market, some Boxing Day sales, and a New Year's sale. So just catching up. I have had the trade paperback of Hardboiled for a while. I guess that angle doesn't work. But I wanted to get these in this old magazine format. A guy was selling these online for like locally through like Facebook Marketplace for like $2 each or something like that. They were a bit dirty, but I cleaned them off. The reason why I wanted these in magazine format is because you can like just flip it all the way open and let it rest open. For some things it's nice to, it's nice to have an option of formats and kind of like figure out what you like best for each thing. In another video I was talking about like Lone Wolf Macabre, I like the old comic sized ones rather than the small ones, etc. This is from another auction. Oh wait, check this out. I don't know if you've ever seen this, but these hard-boiled covers, the back cover ties into the front. From another auction, these Dead Man and the Mansion of Forbidden Love. Finally got this nice interior painted art. A nice somber, kind of melancholy, forlorn, lovelorn story. It's nice. This was along with that Dead Man auction, Scott Snyder and Sean Murphy, The Wake. And I've read like the first, I want to say 3/4 of this, and it's pretty entertaining. It's pretty cool because this is from 2014, I guess, and my knowledge of comics kind of ended. I want to say maybe about like 2008 or 9. I kind of quit collecting for a while and wasn't on top of things, so kind of figuring out what's good that has come out since then is nice. So this stuff is from a Comic Con, and this was in a 50-cent bin. Superman and the Demon. DC Comics presents number 66, and it's Joe Kubert. I like the Demon, and I like Joe Kubert, so. Devil Dinosaur by Jack Kirby. This was in a dollar bin. Always good to get Kirby, and Devil Dinosaur is pretty fun. Excalibur, number 17, by Chris Claremont and Alan Davis. Some people have said Alan Davis's art, they prefer it like in the Miracle Man era. I don't know what they're talking about because his art in this is awesome. And Chris Claremont, and it's just like fun. This is part 2 of a two-parter where it's kind of Nightcrawler centric, and he's a great character. But yeah, Alan Davis' art is pretty fantastic. This is a series I might want to check out more. There's a lot of stuff at that con. I always like start my way up, going through the bargain bins at first, and then like, do one pass of like the whole con if I can. It's always good to get coffee in you and stuff, so that you can kind of like find values and then like work your way up. You can save money that way because oftentimes you can find the same comics in a bargain bin that you would find like for full retail price. Anyways, this is just some 50-cent stuff here. Ghost Stories, June 1965. I like these ghost comics. Ghost Stories again. Ghosts, number 19. This is a good old DC horror series. Fun art and writing. there's a funny story in here where I guess this guy finds like a haunted wig or like a weave. He gives it to his love interest, and I guess it's haunted because it came from like the bottom of a lake off a dead person. There's a nice shot here. Good old 60s, 70s DC horror. Can't miss. Ghosts number 41. Number 105. Hellboy Weird Tales number 3. These are anthologies by various artists and writers using Hellboy universe. Hellboy Beasts of Burden, one shot. I've previously talked about Beasts of Burden as being a favorite current series by Evan Dorkin and Jill Thompson. So, good stuff. Hellboy Halloween Comic Fest special. House of Mystery number 291. Yeah, I kind of tend to go for like a lot of like under the radar stuff, so there aren't any like heavy hitters in this pile. But, you know, fun nonetheless. House of Mystery 293. 299. House of Secrets 144. Marvel's Greatest Comics number 38. This series is great for Kirby Fantastic Four. So this one opens with that iconic The Thing in the Rain shot. And yeah, this is a series I'm trying to recently like discovered, and I'm trying to get whenever I can, because it's good to get the Kirby Fantastic Four for like, you know, if you were getting the originals, it would be a pretty insane price. And in trade paperbacks, I like these, they tend to work as one-issue stories. And a lot of the time I like the comic format if it's like really great and not paste for the trade paperback. And also the ability to like leave the comic open, resting, not needing like two hands to read it, or, you know, I find that you can enjoy it. And, you know, vintage ads and stuff are kind of fun too. Marvel's Greatest Comics number 39. Number 45. Number 76. Number 83. This might be getting on to like Buscema era when it's not Kirby anymore. Yeah, so this guy sold me a big stack of Nexus for, I think it was like 20 something various issues in here for like $8. And that's another series I'm trying to get the full run of. So Nexus number 15. Number 17. 19. 21. 22. 34. The New Color Nexus number 2. 36. 42. 58. 59. Nexus Legends number 1. I think this is a reprint of the first issue. Yeah. Or the first color issue. Nexus The Origin from Dark Horse. Nexus The Liberator number 3. Nexus Alien Justice number 1. Alien Justice number 3. Nexus The Wages of Sin number 3. Nexus The Wages of Sin number 4. Nexus Executioner's Song 1. Executioner's Song 2. Executioner's Song 4. Nexus GodCon number 1. GodCon number 2. Nexus Nightmare in Blue number 1. Yeah, so as you can see, that's kind of like a mishmash. There's going to be some holes to fill in, but it's part of the fun. And it's actually been pretty easy. OMAC number 1 by Bruce Jones and Renato Guedes. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Number 1 of 8. So Bruce Jones has written a lot of independent anthologies of horror and sci-fi going back quite a little while, and he's one of the I think he's like one of the best out of a lot of those, and especially for being so prolific. Uh, his stories are good, like horror and sci-fi, but there's often kind of like a dark element, and I would say like a good element of like human drama and like emotions, relationships, or not necessarily like love relationships, but just like how people relate to each other and the depths of that. So it's interesting to see him do takes on mainstream properties and like ongoing series rather than short stories. And I think he does that pretty well. So this is something I'm interested in checking out. Tor #1, Joe Kubert again. I think these ones are like the ones in magazine format might be a little better, but I haven't checked them out too much. But Joe Kubert fantasy, kind of caveman action. Weird War Tales #69. Weird War Tales #86. This is a great series if you like, skeletons and stuff. There's always good skeletons and horror elements and stuff. It's almost like Twilight Zone-ish. And as far as anthologies go, a lot of the time, there might be only one out of 3 or 4 stories in an anthology comic that are good or like really good, which can be annoying. But Weird War Tales seems to have a good ratio. Like they're pretty dependable for being like good quality art and writing. The Witching Hour #65. This is one that kind of uh, doesn't hit all the time, in my opinion. Sometimes it's a little too campy, but some airs it seems to be good. So, see these for 50 cents. I'll check them out because usually they'll have like at least some awesome art in them, and if not wanting to hold on to them, you could flip them. Wishing Hour #74. #75. This is kind of the score of the con. This collection of Young Lust. It's an indie take on romance comics with artists and writers like Crumb, Bill Griffith, Spain Rodriguez, lots of others that I can't remember offhand right now. But it's pretty awesome. Kind of like comedy, and it's like R or adult rated. So big bunch of these. I have some already, but I'll be able to either like trade or give away to friends my doubles here. So Young Lust #1, #2, #3, #4, and #5. Have that one already for sure. A friend of mine there, Don, I helped him find some comics he was looking for because I'm pretty OCD when it comes to cons. I have to like look through everything and then decide what I'm gonna get. So I was able to find some stuff for like pretty cheap for him that he was looking for. So he threw some stuff my way. These Gunmaster. Yeah, back in the day when they didn't even show the number on the cover. I don't know what number this is, but it said it's a good comic from back in the day. Ghostly Tales, #107. And this magazine that he put out back in the day, Friction, which apparently was like a predecessor to, or might have influenced like Art Alternatives and then later Art Juxtapose. Robert Williams, Dwarves, Vertigo interviews. Because it might have, been before that, and maybe inspired people to put out likewise stuff. Part of history. Just a moment. Got this for Christmas from my sister. She knows I like Deadman and this Neil Adams stuff. I've heard the writing is like either crazy or bad. Is what most people tend to say, but the art at least is good, and I'm down for crazy, and people are often wrong, when they are in a consensus with each other. But I'll give this a shot. So this is stuff from Boxing Day sales. There was a 50% off sale at one store, and I was like, I want like more filling the holes in the Nexus collection and 90s stuff. But it looks like they kind of stored all of their 90s stuff and just have like current stuff or really old kind of Grail stuff. So yeah, it was an easy decision just to get all this Nexus stuff for pretty cheap. Nexus number 14, number 16. Yeah, of course the Grails weren't 50% off. Number 18, Nexus. Number 20. Oh, number 5. Number 8. Number 8. Number 8. So, number 9. Number 10. Number 11. This was in their 50-cent bin. It seems like they have a lot of stuff in their 50-cent bins that might have been there, like, they might have been in their inventory since it came out. They had a bunch of copies of this. Turtle Soup, which I understand is collections of backstories of Ninja Turtles that might have been in comics other than Ninja Turtles, or just in, like, certain reprints. Whisper number 1. This I've like heard about mentioned, I think, on the Cartoonist Kayfabe channel, but giving it a read, I wasn't too into it, so this will be a flip. This is from another store on Boxing Day. I think theirs was like 30% off. This is what was on my like wish list when I went in there. I was like, they might have Chiller number 2, and sure enough, they did. And this might have been in there since around the time it came out, but maybe I'm the only person looking for this. John Ridgway and James D. Hudnall. I guess is 1993. Cool kind of horror comic. Next is number 7. Number 13. And this Ghost in the Shell standalone complex movie, Solid State Society. It's really good sci-fi. I like the Ghost in the Shell franchise, and in my opinion, the standalone complex is the best of that, like the best creative team. Well, Shirao is great, and the movies are good, but standalone complex is it's really good, man. If you like sci-fi, speculative fiction, I find that at its best, it's almost like a reflection of the potential of the present, and also tackles issues of like ethics, morality, and philosophy. But yeah, this is really cool because it hits all of that as well as like the human drama, and it's like so good, man. It's got like good action, but it could like almost make you cry, man. It's so good. And this good case, and I think it even comes with a soundtrack by Yoko Kanno. So that was a cool score there for cheap. There's another store's Boxing Day sale. There's a Dead Man Walking, again by Bruce Jones. The trade paperback. And there's like a cool and dark and sad, kind of messed up, and elements of like quantum, parallel universe jazz and stuff like that. You can tell that he's a fan of reading about that in nonfiction, tries to incorporate it into the story. I found that the ending might be a little abrupt. I'm not sure. I don't want to like spoil it, but if you've read this, tell me what you think of the ending, because I don't know what to think, man. I might have to reread it again. Dollar reprint of Gideon Falls, number 1. I think your boy Zach was talking about this on his channel as like one of the best crime comics out right now, so thought I'd check it out. reprint of, was this X-Men number 243 or 4? 244, Ladies Night. It's a little bit hard to get this like full price right now, so this is one I've on my wish list for a while though. And this stuff here is from a flea market. Machine Man number 1 to 4 by Barry Windsor Smith. Yeah, I wasn't too fond of the writing though. This will be a flip. The art's cool, but the writing's dated. If you like a little bit campy sci-fi where they're talking of like zap and slur and, you know, making up like silly slang, it's kind of cool, but not, you know, I'm not really going to want to reread it, so. Punisher number 1 annual. This is cool, man. This is a good find. I think this was in a dollar bin at that flea market. Sandman number 1 by Jack Kirby and Joe Simon. This is really fun. It's like this evil doll. And it influences this kid's dreams after he finds it. Sandman has to come out of the realm of dreams where he operates and save the day. This evil doll. It's kind of funny. He has like a weird humor. I don't know if he's necessarily trying to be funny. I would think he is. This doll. The grandpa figures out what's going on, that this thing is, there's something wrong with it. It's like, not like necessarily when the characters are interacting, not as if they know that the doll is alive or has like a spirit or whatever operating, but the eyes of it are always like looking at the characters. So this grandpa goes, but the way they yeah, it's like the characters don't necessarily see the eyes are looking at them. He goes to bury it. I like this sequence here. It's just awesome, man. So, yeah. I got these other ones there too. Sandman number 3. But unfortunately I don't think it's like written and drawn by Kirby, but I'll try them anyway. Sandman number 5. Reprint of The Shadow number 1 by Michael William Kaluta. This is, I think the original of this goes for like over 100 now, and I love Michael William Kaluta, so that I've always like coveted these and wanted them. But I do want to show you something, because as great as Michael William Kaluta is, and all the love and respect to him in the world, like I said, he's one of my favorites, but it's kind of cool to see that in this early stuff, I would say his art is like nowhere near the levels it is later. And I'd say it's even encouraging, because I think a lot of us, people who like to draw or like comics, can maybe compete with this level. So if you're thinking of like getting into the comic industry, I think you can. Seeing like Michael William Kaluta wasn't even like that great when he was doing this. I love him to death, man. He fucking rules, but look at, like, you could probably do this if you like doodling and stuff. So yeah. Start out, eventually find your way and maybe be great like him someday. This was cool to find in a dollar bin at that flea market. Jan Stranad and Richard Corbin, Son of Mutant World. I can't show the interior because there's nudity and stuff. He doesn't like depend on it. It serves the story. It's kind of like cheesecake. Not quite gratuitous, slightly fan service. But this is like a post-apocalyptic gangs of mutants vying for power, wreaking havoc. It's awesome, man. This is really good. I'll show you a little bit. Oh yeah, this girl has a pet bear. And a comic that I'm working on with a friend. There's gonna be a bear in it, and it's kind of cool to see this, how Richard Corbin attacks that. It's a bit of mutants. Just so you can get kind of a gist of what this comic is like. It's madcap though. Breakneck speed. Action, adventure, fun, madness. So awesome. More bargain bin. Spider-Man. Eric Larson is one of my favorites. I know he's not a lot of people's favorite for Spider-Man, but when I was a kid, that's what I was getting. That was one of the first things I bought. So I'm trying to get a lot of these Eric Larson Amazing Spider-Man. Because when he was with like Dave Michelini, I thought it was awesome. So you usually don't see these for less than like a few dollars each. But these were in dollar bins, so you gotta grab them. Amazing Spider-Man number 337 and 341. Uncanny X-Men number 199. Okay, and this final little batch is from a store that was having a 50% off sale on much of their graphic novels. So these were like $4 each. It's cool to get these Berserks. Didn't have number 1, but you know I'll get that eventually. Then start reading it. Number 2, number 3. This big thick Ranma 1/2 by Rumiko Takahashi. Book 1 and 2, I guess. And lastly, this Hellboy Into the Silent Sea. I already have one of these, but I couldn't pass this up for like just a few dollars. Because this is really fun. A really nice book. Like I said before, sorry I haven't posted in a while due to that, my voice being like totally messed up. But this is one that I would have liked to do like a full reading of for Halloween, or maybe even Christmas. It's awesome. Mike Mignola and Gary Gianni, 2 favorites, 2 modern greats. Fun, like Lost at Sea, pirate story. So it really is like their strengths, and with the paranormal and turn of the century classical illustration and literature influences on the both of them. So they have fun. It's great, man. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Please like and subscribe, comment. It's always nice to hear from you. And yeah, there's another con tomorrow, a small one. And yeah, maybe I'll pick some stuff up there and have another video up soon. Don't be alarmed if the next couple of videos or some videos soon are like some video memes, because I need to clear my phone out of space of like some video memes I've made that are not comic related, maybe a little bit like risque or offensive humor. So if that's not your kind of thing, feel free to skip them. I just can't find the reason to make like a second channel and stuff for that stuff, because you know. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Keep in touch. See you in the next video. Cheers and happy hunting out there. Bye.